You ever wish you could just, I don't know, download a skill? Like instantly know how to solve a crazy complex math problem or speak a new language, even if just for a minute? Well, what if you could literally buy a thought? It sounds like something straight out of a movie, but today we're going to explore a concept that really pushes that boundary.
So let's dive in and really unpack this speculative idea. It's all built on this simple but honestly pretty shocking premise that might just change how we think about, well, thinking. So buckle up, because this is where it starts to get weird.
A brain connected to money. Just let that sink in for a second. This image, this is the heart of the whole idea. And I'm not talking metaphorically, like getting a paycheck for a good idea. No. This imagines a direct, literal, biotechnical link between your actual consciousness and a financial transaction. Okay, so there's a name for this: higher intelligence. The easiest way to think about it is like the ultimate next step for brain-computer interfaces. The core idea is that you could essentially rent out your brain power. Let's say someone out there needs your super specific knowledge on astrophysics for just like 10 minutes. They'd pay a tiny fee, a microtransaction, and boom, they get direct access to your thoughts on the subject. It's the gig economy, but for your mind. I know, it sounds absolutely wild, but how would a system like this actually work in the real world? What would it even look like to log in and, shop for a piece of someone else's mind? Let's break down how this process could hypothetically go down.
The process itself could be ridiculously simple, almost like using an app on your phone. Imagine you're an architect, and you're totally stuck on a really complex structural problem. You just connect to a neural network, basically a marketplace of minds. You'd find an expert structural engineer, authorize a micropayment for, say, 5 minutes of their problem-solving power, and instantly the solution just flows right into your workflow as raw intelligence. It's expertise quite literally on tap.
All right, let's hit pause on the how for a second and just imagine the potential here. If we could truly access intelligence on demand, what kind of world would that even create? This is where the really utopian, amazing vision of higher intelligence starts to take shape.
Honestly, the possibilities are staggering. Just picture a team of scientists tackling climate change, and they're able to instantly pull in the cognitive threads of the world's top biologists, chemists, and engineers, all at the same time. Or think about a musician collaborating with a poet, not by sending files back and forth, but by literally sharing a stream of consciousness. This points to a future where access to knowledge is completely democratized, and human progress could just explode at a rate we can't even begin to imagine. But there's always a flip side, isn't there? For every dazzling, amazing possibility, there's always a shadow. And if you can put a price tag on a single thought, you have to start asking some very, very difficult questions about what that does to us as people. This is where it gets a little chilling. Look at this contrast. Right now, today, we value things like wisdom, experience, creativity, empathy. These are qualities that are really hard to measure, right? But in a world of higher intelligence, human value could be totally redefined by cold, hard metrics. How fast is your neural output? What's your brain's processing power? What's your connection cost? All of a sudden, a person's worth becomes a matter of bandwidth and data speeds.
And so, here we are, right back at this incredibly visceral image. A brain connected to money through wires. It's not just a shocking idea anymore, it's the potential business model for humanity. And that gets to the crucial point. When we start turning the very essence of our consciousness into a commodity, what parts of ourselves do we end up losing?
At the end of the day, all of this leads us to the ultimate and maybe unavoidable question. This whole concept, it basically forces us to look in the mirror and decide what it is, exactly, that makes a human being valuable in the first place. And that's really the question we want to leave you with. In a world where every single idea can be bought and sold, where your own mind is on the open market, what is a person actually worth? It's something to think about.